Hey there everybody, it's time to be chill and play Bob Ross, The Art of Chill game. So today we're going to be looking at this game, what it is, and sort of what's inside the box and how you play it. Just some basics, and then how I feel about it at the end. So let's get into it. So inside the box you get the rules for Bob Ross Art of Chill game, which explain how to play and what you need. And also, you get all of this. You get an easel, which you can put paintings, and there's multiple paintings which you can paint. All of them are double-sided, so it's easy to have a nice lot of variety in what you're painting. It helps keep the game sort of on its toes. You have your Art of Chill board, where the whole goal is to earn points from painting and get your marker from 0 chill to chill. Also come chill cards, which, when rolled certain things, have certain effects on the games or players. When this card is revealed, it says, all players may play a paint to their palette. It says down here, if painting does nothing else, it should make you happy. Then you have your art supply cards, which, when you're all ready to go, you deal out 4 to the table, and each player gets a hand of 3 art supplies. When you use the art supplies, they can be either a paint or a brush. And in order to play, you have to match all of the listed paints and brush together to paint what they call a feature. In this case, you use the red, the orange, and the yellow with the 2-inch wide brush to make the fluffy clouds. The next thing that you get are the technique cards, which are smaller cards, which are specific to either brushes or paint colors. The 4 cards that you see laid out here are art supplies that anyone can purchase. You can spend one of your turn actions to purchase one of these cards. However, if you come across one of these any color wild cards, this costs 2 of your turn actions to purchase. Moving on, we've got technique cards. These are individual cards which represent specific things in the game. They represent either colors or brushes, and in this case, this represents sap green. In order to purchase this, you have to discard 2 cards that match sap green, or you could discard a card or 2 cards that match the 2-inch wide brush. Once you obtain one of these skill cards, you keep it with you as a buff for each time you paint something using this color. Also, it grants you a one-time bonus extra points, or for moving across the board. The next thing that you get inside the box is a handy dice, which has Bob Ross faces, a paint palette, a hand, and a card with a plus sign on it. As you can see, there's multiple Bob Ross faces. So what happens is that when you roll the paint palette, you get to play a paint to your palette as a free move. When you get the card with the plus sign on it, you get to pick up a card as a free move. And when you get the hand action, that allows you to do any normal turn action in the game for free, except for purchasing technique cards. When you roll the Bob Ross, you pick up an Art of Chill card. Read it. Players may take an extra action on their turn. There are no limits here. Absolutely no limits here. And flip that one up, and then Bob moves across the painting. And sometimes he completes features while he moves. So Bob always starts at the beginning of the painting, and each time Bob rolls, you move him across. There are cards that prevent Bob from moving, but as Bob moves further, Bob paints the feature that you were trying to paint, and the bonus points for the feature that were there disappear. You can still paint the feature, but you no longer get the extra points. When Bob moves to the end of the painting is done, and you instantly have to set a new painting, and then Bob moves back to the beginning. So essentially, you're painting along with Bob. But Bob's a quick painter. We all know this. So the last thing that you get inside the game box are your palettes and your painting tokens. The painting tokens are used to mark which feature you just painted. The faster you paint the feature, the more points you're going to get extra to move you across the board. The paint palette has 2 places where you can place your paints. Each place can hold 3 paints. You can use paints from either side, but if the paints that you have on one side get mixed with a paint that you don't need to paint the feature, then you can't use those paints at all. You have to wipe your board clean as one of your turn actions in order to start over again. All cards and paints that are discarded in this manner just go to a discard pile. And if you run out of cards for your art supplies, you just reshuffle them and put them back. An example would be, I'm trying to paint the Almighty Mountains, which requires blue and white. So let's just say I have white and blue. So during my turns, I've played a green, I've played a white, and I've played a blue. These 2 are now mixed. This one's on its own. But I can't use this to paint that feature because the white is mixed with the green. If I had white on this side and blue on this side, I could combine those to paint those features. That's okay. Or if I have white and blue on the same side and that's all I have there, then that's okay too. I can use those. When you paint a feature, the cards are removed from your palette and discarded. When you paint a feature, the other thing to keep in mind is that your paints have to be on the palette, and you have to have the brush in your hand, just like real painting. So you're going to say, I'm going to paint a feature, and then you're going to play your brush with your paints on your palette to paint that feature. You earn points for each feature that you paint. The more paints inside that feature, the more points you earn. The whole goal of this game is to get your piece from this side to this side and become the most chill that you can be. The game's a nice, relaxing, fairly simple game to learn, and it's a lot of fun with a group of 4 people. You can really just take it easy and just paint. And the whole idea is that no matter who wins, we all win, because we are painting